Your paycheck can buy you a slightly nicer life, or it can buy you a piece of your future. The problem is, most people never make that switch. They spend decades earning money without ever owning much. In the last video, we broke down the salary trap, how even a stable income can leave you stressed, stuck, and one emergency away from chaos. Today, we're going one step further. I'm going to show you, step by step, how to turn your paycheck into ownership. Because income pays the bills, but ownership is what builds freedom. And if you make somewhere between $40,000 and $120,000, this video might matter even more to you. Because this is the range where life looks fine on paper, but strangely fragile in real life. You work, money comes in, money goes out, and somehow the future never seems to get funded. That changes the moment you stop asking, how do I earn more? And start asking, how much of what I earn do I actually keep and convert into assets? So let's break this down step by step, how to turn a regular paycheck into real ownership.
Step 1. See where your money actually goes. The first step is brutally simple. You need to see where your paycheck is actually going. Not where you think it goes, not where you hope it goes, but where actually it goes. The Federal Reserve says only 48% of adults had money left over after paying expenses in the prior month, and only 63% could cover a $400 emergency using cash or its equivalent. That means a huge number of people are not failing because they're lazy. They're running with no real margin. So split your money into 3 buckets. Bucket 1, survival. Rent, groceries, utilities, minimum debt payments, insurance, transportation. Bucket 2, comfort. Eating out, subscriptions, upgrades, convenience spending, nicer brands, lifestyle extras. Bucket 3, growth. Everything that actually improves your future balance sheet. Extra debt payoff, emergency savings, retirement contributions, index funds, business building, skill building. But here's the painful part. For a lot of people, bucket 3 is whatever survives the month, which usually means nothing. Housing and transportation alone account for over 50% of average household spending, with housing by itself taking 33.4%. So if you live in an expensive city and your biggest expenses are already swallowing half your life, you cannot wing wealth building. It has to become a system.
Step 2, build your freedom gap. Now I want to give you the most important number in this video, your freedom gap. Your freedom gap is the percentage of your take-home pay that becomes ownership every single month. Not spending, not status, not temporary comfort, ownership. If that number is 0%, your future is being delayed every month. If it's 5%, you've started. If it's 10% to 15%, you're building real traction. If it's more than 20%, you are aggressively buying options for your future. And before someone says, that's easy for rich people, let's be real. If you're drowning, start smaller. The goal is not perfection. The goal is to stop sending 100% of your effort into consumption. The SEC's basic guidance is simple. Pay off high-interest debt, then save and invest as early as possible. So the order matters. First, create a tiny emergency buffer. Then attack toxic high-interest debt. Then steadily build investing and ownership. Why? Because if one flat tire, one medical bill, or one rent increase knocks you out, you'll keep rating your future to survive the present.
Step 3. Automate the paycheck. This is where people either change their life or go back to motivational video mode and do nothing. When your paycheck lands, it should not sit in one account, waiting for your emotions to decide its fate. Your emotions are expensive. You need a money route. Paycheck comes in, a set amount goes to bills. A set amount goes to weekly spending. A set amount goes to ownership automatically. And that ownership bucket can include emergency savings, extra debt payoff above minimums, 401k contributions, IRA or index fund contributions, cash reserved for building a small business, skill, or side income. You want the decision made before the temptation arrives. This is why automation matters so much. Research from Vanguard shows that many employers match retirement contributions, often around 4% of your salary. And those matches usually apply to the first few percentage points you save. Translation: if your job offers a 401k match and you're not taking it, you're refusing part of your compensation. That's one of the cleanest examples of turning a paycheck into ownership. Your salary funds the contribution, and your employer literally helps buy you an asset.
If you want your money to finally start working for you, subscribe, and let's build this together. Step 4. Know what counts as ownership. This is where people fool themselves. A better car is not ownership. A more expensive apartment is not ownership. A new phone is not ownership. Treating yourself every time you're stressed is definitely not ownership. Ownership is something that can grow, compound, produce income, or strengthen your net worth over time. Real ownership usually starts with boring things: 401k, especially up to the match, IRA contributions, broad index funds, paying down high-interest debt so future cash flow belongs to you again, building a side asset like a skill, digital product, small service, or business equity. And this is where the rich game looks different from the salary game. Labor income gets taxed like labor. The IRS notes that long-term capital gains are generally taxed at 0%, 15%, or 20%, depending on income, which is often more favorable than ordinary wage income rates. That doesn't mean salary is useless. It means salary is your launch pad, but the destination has to be assets.
Step 5. Protect yourself from lifestyle creep. Now, let's kill the thing that ruins almost every raise: lifestyle creep. You get a promotion. You feel relief. Then you upgrade the apartment, start leasing the nicer car, say yes to more convenience, more takeout, more subscriptions. A few months later, the raise is gone, but the new bills stay. So follow these rules if you want your raises to build wealth instead of bigger bills. First rule: every raise must buy ownership first. At minimum, route 50% of every raise or bonus into your ownership bucket before your lifestyle expands. If you get a 6% raise, maybe 3% funds investing, debt payoff, or savings, and only the rest touches your lifestyle. Second rule: no major lifestyle upgrade for at least 6 months after a raise. Let the new income prove itself before you build new obligations around it. Third rule: increase your investment rate by 1% every year. Small enough not to hurt, powerful enough to matter over time. Why does this work? Because your financial life does not improve when your income rises. It improves when the gap between what you earn and what you spend gets converted into assets consistently. Step 6. Start thinking like an owner. Owners think differently than earners. Earners ask, "Can I afford this monthly payment?" Owners ask, "What asset does this paycheck buy?" Earners celebrate raises by upgrading consumption. Owners celebrate raises by increasing their ownership rate. Earners think in months. Owners think in decades. And time matters more than people realize. Saving and investing early matters because compounding rewards consistency and time, not drama. You do not need to look impressive this year. You need to make sure 10 years from now, your money is doing some of the work for you. That is the whole shift. From today forward, every paycheck you earn can do one of two things. It can buy you a nicer cage, or it can buy you a piece of the key. If you haven't watched the last video on the salary trap, watch that next, because it explains why so many hardworking people stay stuck even when they make decent money. And if you have watched it, then this is your next move. Stop measuring your life by income alone and start measuring it by how much ownership each paycheck creates. And that is how you stop being just an earner and start becoming an owner.
If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more videos like this. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.